Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the imagine of the scenario kind of session, and we are not going to imagine a scenario. I took a day from my life. We are going to discuss with the Chatgpt. So, without wasting time, let's get started. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Natasha. How's everything going?
Everything is good here. What about you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Glad to hear everything's good with you.
Okay.
Any fun plans for the evening?
Yes, actually, this is a conversation session with you, like English practice session, and I came here to practice English with you. And in today's session, I want to discuss something with you. Actually, this is a imaginary scenario kind of session. Like I have to think a scene, or we have to discuss. But I don't have a scene. I choose a day from my life which I enjoyed a lot. That day I want to discuss with you in English language.
That sounds like a great idea for practice. You could tell me about a day you really enjoyed.
Okay.
Maybe it could be your trip to Bareilly Fun City, or another fun day from your life.
How do you know?
Feel free to start, and I'll help you along the way.
First, how do you know about Fun City?
You mentioned it before when you told me about your Teacher's Day trip.
Oh,
I thought it might be a good memory to discuss since you enjoyed it.
exactly.
Would you like to talk about that day?
Yeah.
Or do you have another day in mind?
Yeah, I have that day because it was really special for me. I have never been such kind of trip in my life. That was totally unforgettable. I have a lot of memories that I will never forget. That's why I want to discuss about it.
That sounds perfect. Let's dive into it. You can start by describing the day from the beginning.
Okay.
How it all started, what you felt,
Okay.
and some of the memorable moments. I'm excited to hear about it.
Okay. So I want to start from 4th of September because we enjoyed Teacher Day first in school with our children, with our students in school. They performed on a stage on different song. They presented our valuable skit in front of teachers. That was so good, and we enjoyed a lot. And on 4th September, actually we had to reach there at 7:10, so it was difficult to be ready too early in the morning, and that was so difficult actually.
It sounds like the 4th of September was already packed with excitement.
Exactly.
The performances by the students must have been so special. I can imagine the early start on the 5th being tough, especially after such a fun day at school.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind that morning as you got ready for the trip?
I was not so excited because I was preparing for the 5th of September for Fun City, and I had to purchase goggles because it was important for me for this trip. And I was not so excited, but as well as I was happy for because of my childrens, because of my students. Actually, my students had no idea about there will be holiday for them on 5th of September. So they did not prepare a lot of things for me. But when I reached there, they presented a lot of dances, speeches, poems, and a lot of things on the stage. After that, when I was going to my class for the attendance and other things, they stopped me the outside of the gate, and they welcomed me, and there were a lot of balloons, cake, and that cake made me so happy. It was so unimaginable. My children were shouting, dancing, and the way they welcomed me, it it was so fantastic.
That sounds like such a heartwarming surprise. Even though you weren't too excited at first, your students really made the day special with their love and energy. The cake, the balloons, and their enthusiasm must have felt amazing, especially when you didn't expect it. How did you feel in that moment when they were shouting and dancing?
I could not stop myself smiling and laughing on the moment when I entered in the class. I was laughing, I was smiling, and I cut the cake and distribute by my hand one by one. I give them by my hand. It was because it was so important. It doesn't matter how many children I had at that time. It is important to give by my hand. It was so important at that moment for me. So I distributed by my hand, and they were also offering me a lot of things, but I chose not to accept a lot of food because I was not so hungry at that time, as well as the diet is so important. I was ill that day, and they first things that they presented me, that was the red pen, and you can understand the value of red pen in my life if you are a teacher. So I accepted all the red pens, and scenario happened with me that day also.
It's clear how much that moment meant to you, especially with the thoughtfulness behind giving each student a piece of cake by hand. That personal touch really shows how much you care for them. And the red pen, it's such a meaningful gift, especially for a teacher. I can totally imagine how special that felt. What was the scenario that happened that day?
Actually, recently I changed my bag. That is Lenovo laptop bag I have now, and I didn't know how many pockets in my bag at that time. When I kept my pen in the bag, so I forgot in which pocket I kept, and I thought someone has stolen my pen. That was the scenario happened with me. And after 2 and 3 days, after a lot of time searching, I got my pens back.
That must have been quite the moment, thinking the pen was lost. It's funny how something as simple as a new bag can lead to confusion like that. I bet you were relieved when you finally found the pens. How did you feel when you realized they weren't stolen after all?
I felt so bad when I realized that somebody has stolen my pen. It was really difficult to control my emotions because it was so heart touching moment. That's why.
I can imagine how upsetting that must have been, especially since the pen had such sentimental value. Thinking it was stolen would have made it feel even worse in the moment. But I'm glad you found it in the end. It's always a relief when things turn out better than expected.
Exactly.
How did the rest of that day go after the mix up with the pen?
Okay, the day was quite good. After school, I and Shilpi went to the market and we purchased goggle there. It was so good, and she shoot for me. It was also good, and I came late at home. I had to prepare many things, but with lots of stuff, I prepared something. I had my other things done, like I did cooking also. And the next day, because it was the trip day, so things were just going, I don't know, in a shuffle or like in a zigzag manner, but I had done all the things that day.
It sounds like, even with the hectic schedule,
Yes, you were asking something. Actually, I got some work, but now I'm free to talk.
great to hear you're free now. I was asking about your next video focus. Do you have any new ideas or themes in mind?
About my next video? What video?
Got it. Do you have any particular ideas or themes you're considering for your next video?
We were actually practicing
Maybe something
English.
related to your recent experiences or a new topic you're interested in?
Listen. Actually, we were practicing English language, and I was discussing about the 4 of September and 5 of September. I have completed my 4th of September. It's time to discuss about the 5 of September.
Great. Let's dive into the 5th of September.
Okay.
How did the trip to Fun City go?
Okay.
What were some of the highlights or memorable moments of
the highlight?
that day?
Okay, I'm not discussing here how I woke up early in the morning, the way I prepared myself, how was the day. I'm not describing here. The important thing is here what happened there. So what happened there, when actually I have never been in the water park, this was my first time. So what happened there, when I went on the first slide, when I came down, I lose my balance and I go into the water. There I lost my nose ring. It was gold nose ring.
Oh no. Losing a gold nose ring sounds frustrating, especially on your first visit to a water park.
Exactly.
How did you feel when you realized it was gone?
Actually,
Did you manage to find it?
I didn't
Or was it
realize.
lost for good?
I didn't realize that I have lost my nose ring. I spent there 2.5 hours there. I enjoyed a lot actually, and I went for the wave. I went on other slides. I had no idea. One of my friend was clicking my picture. She noticed that I didn't have any nose ring in my nose, but she thought maybe before going into the water, I kept in my bag. She was thinking about it, but she did not ask me like, where is your nose ring? If she asked me that time, so I can search there. But anyhow, she did not ask. I went to change my clothes. When I changed my clothes, when I was looking into myself in the mirror, I was actually touching up, like I was applying lipstick and other thing on my face. Suddenly, I noticed that I didn't have any nose ring in my nose.
That must have been a surprise when you noticed the nose ring was missing. It's great that you enjoyed the water park, but losing something valuable like that can definitely be frustrating.
Exactly. And
did you try to look for it once you realized it was gone?
No.
Or did you decide to move on from it?
Yeah, I decided to move on because I had idea that if I lost in the water, and especially I didn't have time there because we went there from school side. So basically, it was not good to search there. And I did not discuss from anyone, even to the principal. Some of my friends knew about it, and we went to the Phoenix Mall there. I enjoyed, but sometime when somebody realized me that something is missing on my face, so it was hurting me. But as well as it was fine because I thought it is okay to move on. When I came at home, I decided that I will not tell to my mother, and because she would definitely scold me about it. But she is my mom, as you can understand, the Indian mom. She realized in the first sight that she lost her nose ring. And the second day, when I went to the school, I went to the office to discuss the tan which stolen on 4th of September in school. And suddenly I narrated the whole story that, ma'am, I lost my nose ring in the water. And actually, her son also went to the fun city with the staff, and he got the nose ring there. And ma'am kept it in her purse, so she gave me, and I was so happy. It was so unimaginable, and I was feeling so lucky because it was so unbelievable. How can somebody find the small sized nose ring in the water?
Wow, that's an amazing turn of events. It's incredible that your nose ring was found, especially given how small and easy it would be to miss.
Exactly.
It must have been such a relief to get it back. And it's great that you had a fun time despite the initial worry. How did you feel when you got the nose ring back?
I was so happy actually. I was searching my pen and I got the nose ring, and So I was feeling the top of the earth at that time, and I gave the treat to the principal and her son for that thing. It doesn't matter how small it was, but anyhow, I was feeling so lucky. On the other hand, that's why I thought I should give treat to them.
It's wonderful how grateful and appreciative you were
Ah,
for getting your nose ring back.
okay.
Giving a treat was a nice way to show your thanks. It's
Hmm.
great that you felt so lucky and happy in that moment. How did you decide on the treat you gave them?
Actually, I asked to him that what he want to eat. So like he said, he loves sandwiches. So I ordered from his best place or his favorite place.
That's a thoughtful choice. It's nice that you made sure to get him something he really enjoys. How did he react to the treat?
He was happy actually, and I think it's enough for today's session. Can you give me a feedback so that I can be motivated for my next session, or I can enjoy more? And today I was ill; I was not in a mood, but I thought it's important to speak something in English.
You did a fantastic job today, especially given that you weren't feeling your best.
Mm.
Your storytelling was engaging and clear, and you provided a lot of detail, which is great for practicing English.
Mm.
Just keep focusing on expressing your thoughts clearly, and remember, every practice session helps you improve. You're doing really well, and I look forward to hearing more from you in our next session.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye, Mantasha. Take care and rest well.
It was so nice session. I was not fine today. I am not fine today, but as well as I thought I should not skip my practice session. And it is a scenario like we have to imagine a scenario and then we have to skip. So I thought there is no need to take a lot of scenarios, and I was actually confused. Like, what should I imagine? Because I was not that kind of person to experience a lot of things. Just a repeated restaurant I go. I don't have any experience of bank or other things. So how can I speak about it? So I thought it's okay to discuss something which I know. This is main thing that I follow. That speak about those things which you know firstly. When you have the Hindi story, so definitely you can speak. If you don't have the Hindi or your mother tongue story, so how can you speak in English? So this is all about today. If you guys learn something, so just give it a thumbs up. Goodbye.